The holiday season is the busiest travel time of the year, with millions flying to celebrate with friends and family. But that also means a higher chance of in-flight medical emergencies, like heart attacks, strokes, even births. And flight attendants who have to know how to keep passengers safe, even at cruising altitude.
Welcome, welcome. I will brief the crew as to the scenario.
Out of all the training that a flight attendant might go through, how big a component is the medical and safety part of it?
The medical and safety part is a heavy component of it, and we do put a heavy emphasis on responding with CPR knowledge, using the AED, using the equipment on board the aircraft that we have available to respond for basic first aid instances as well too.
You try and put people through essentially real life scenarios through the training. I mean, you make it as realistic as possible. How do you do that? What do you do?
We actually use scenarios that we have experienced in flight.
Okay. Sir, are you okay?
Some of the scenarios that we bring into training could be something like a passenger's in discomfort. They're feeling weak, lightheaded, and how to respond, page for medical assistance on board, how to respond appropriately using StatMD as a resource to report the symptoms that we see.
Contact the flight deck, get them to page StatMD and page for medical assistance.
One of the most valuable resources the flight crews have at their disposal is a service called StatMD. StatMD is a ground-based support center that provides medical consultations for in-flight emergencies. These are specially trained physicians who can help the crew make assessments and also give recommendations on how to treat the patients.
Can we also put him on his side to prevent him from aspirating if he vomits?
Well, what is the call that is absolutely the worst call?
It can vary. I mean, I think the ones that probably raise everyone's blood pressure are ones where there's someone's in labor or an imminent childbirth, and we've actually had that. We've had babies delivered on flights. And then obviously the most severe cases are someone that actually goes into cardiac arrest. And so they may be applying the defibrillator, and the defibrillator is shocking.
Stand clear.
So what can you do to stay healthy in the air? I talked to one of StatMD's doctors, and the answer may be simpler than you think.
I tend to drink a bottle of water before I get in an airplane. I don't want to be one of those individuals that gets lightheaded or passes out on the plane. So I make sure that I'm hydrated when I get on an airplane. That's probably the number one thing.
A great story for you this morning. A quick-thinking doctor saved the life of a toddler who was having trouble breathing on a transatlantic flight. Lindsay Janis has the details.
It could have been a scene right out of the 1980s hit TV show MacGyver. Dr. Kreshid Guru of Buffalo, New York, jumping into action 10,000 feet in the air.
If we did not intervene at the time when I intervened, this would have been a much more dangerous situation.
Last Friday, Dr. Guru was on a 7.5-hour trip from Spain to New York. When halfway through, a 2-year-old on board with asthma started struggling to breathe. His parents accidentally packing his medication in their checked luggage.
I heard an announcement looking for a physician. I started thinking that I got to come out with a way so we can kind of provide the oxygen and the medication in a nice way.
With no pediatric devices available and in true superhero fashion, Dr. Guru turned an adult inhaler into a makeshift pediatric nebulizer using a water bottle, a plastic cup, an oxygen tank, and an oxygen mask.
After 2 treatments, the child felt better, and at the end of the flight, he was playing with the mom and they were pretty happy.
Guru is not just a good Samaritan with an MD. He's actually the director of robotic surgery at New York's Roswell Park Cancer Institute. And while the medical MacGyver was able to come to the 2-year-old's rescue,
at the end of the day, the message is that, always carry your medications, what you need with you.
For Good Morning America, Lindsay Janis, ABC News, New York.
The
This China Airlines flight arrived with an extra passenger on board. Place of birth, row 49. Give the newborn baby girl a hand.
So I just thought it was an amazing experience. I mean, to see someone giving birth right in front of me, I mean.
Edmund Shen didn't just see it, he shot it. The China Airlines flight took off from Taiwan, headed for Los Angeles. 6 hours into the flight, over the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the woman informed the crew that her water had broken. The pilot diverted the flight to Anchorage, Alaska, and he moved the mother, in labor 2 months early, to her own row, right in front of Edmund.
Oh, there was a lot of screaming. Poor mother.
Is there a doctor on the plane? There was, though this UCLA internist had never before delivered a baby by herself. Dr. Angelica Zen was on her way home from her honeymoon. She spoke Mandarin with the Taiwanese mother and told ABC,
"It was very difficult. We had to work under very constraining circumstances."
Oh, it was bad. Like, they tried to cover the whole row of blankets, but
30 minutes out of Anchorage, the baby arrived before the plane did. Dr. Zen said the flight attendants acted as stand-in nurses, and one holding the baby cried. The plane landed, mom and baby were taken to the hospital in good shape. The flight continued to Los Angeles, where Edmund's dad had been waiting for 4 or 5 hours.
I was like, Dad, someone gave birth on the plane.
Talk about being airborne. Jeannie Mo, CNN, New York.
United 935 Heavy, I need the nature of the medical emergency and also the sex of the patient, and is there medical personnel at the gate?
Yeah, we've coordinated medical personnel for the gate. We have some passengers, nurses assisting the passenger. We have an unresponsive passenger. So they're working on it right now. We're going to have them seated in about 2 minutes here, and we should hopefully be on the deck in about 5.
United 935 Heavy, roger. United 935 Heavy, maintain speed 210 or greater.
Hey, Tower, good morning. United 935 Heavy with you, 3 from Lima, emergency medical aircraft. United 935 Heavy, LA Tower, flying Gulfstream, wind 120 at 5, runway 25 left, clear to land. Okay, clear to land for United 935. We'll need minimum delay on the ground. Yeah.
X 3027 is going to have some medical problem on the Fairley runway, so it'll be another minute.
X 3027, roger.
United 935 Heavy, speed your discretion, connect tower 120.95.
Speed our discretion for United 935 and 2095, thanks.
United 935 Heavy, let's do the first high speed you got, then at Papa, cross runway 25 right, contact ground point 75.
Alright, first high speed Hotel 8, we'll cross 25 right at Papa, and go to point 75, United 935 Heavy.
United 935 Heavy, Los Angeles Ground, good afternoon, taxi via Bravo, Charlie 6 to the gate, company's waiting at the bottom of the alleyway for you.
Bravo, Charlie 6 to the gate, United 935 Heavy, thanks.
I'm sorry I had to wake you. I'm just looking for a doctor. There's nothing to worry about.
Stewardess, I think the man sitting next to me is a doctor.
Sir, excuse me, sir. I'm sorry I have to wake you. You a doctor?
That's right.
We have some passengers that are very sick. Could you come take a look at them?
Yes. Yes, of course. Let me see your tongue. I'll be back in a minute. You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
Certainly.
Victor, we're running into some heavy weather. Can you... Roger, take over.
Captain, how soon can you land?
I can't tell.
You can tell me I'm a doctor.
No, I mean, I'm just not sure.
Or can't you take a guess?
Well, not for another 2 hours.
You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
No. I mean, we can't land for another 2 hours. Fog has closed down everything this side of the mountains. We've got to get through to Chicago.